So if a guy was working on fries at McDonald's, he'd have the same option to holler at you, the guy who owned his own law firm?
It depends.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. See, I can't play games with them. If we're gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation. If we're gonna do this shit, then we don't have to. This woman actually gonna tell me that a man on fries and a guy who owns his own law firm have the same option to holler at you. You're gonna exercise in the same way. Y'all are disingenuous.
Welcome to Empowerment Zone. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Is this a good for introduction of the video?
Hi, Kevin. How are you? This is such an honor to be here tonight.
But do you have a conflict?
I do.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
So my conflict is you say options as if it's a positive thing, like it's okay for men to have options. And my issue with that is, like, okay, so if you're a woman who has options, like when do you go into the relationships? And I guess you
Okay. What man has options?
A high value man.
Why does he have options? Go ahead.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Why does he have options?
Because let's say he's quote unquote successful, he's attractive, he's, family oriented, everything you want him to be, whether it is.
Well, if he's all those things, options are a result of the things he's worked to become.
So when is it okay to say, you know what, we both have options, but I'm attractive, you're attractive.
Well, now see, that's the problem. You women often try to equate. You got Barney playing in the background.
That's the baby. Sorry, that's my.
All right, but the thing is, this is when I have to get real pragmatic, ma'am. A high value man. I gotta mute that. A high value man and a woman. If you had to put a dollar value on what each brings to the table, women rarely equate to their man. So it's an unbalanced question. It's basically saying, well, because you're here and I'm here. Let me unmute you. Let me ask you a question this way. Are you familiar with the game of chess?
Yes.
What's the more valuable piece, the king or the queen?
The queen. Oh, well, yeah, I think the queen. Right, Dan? Wouldn't you agree?
What?
What's the most valuable piece in the chess game?
In the chess game, the queen. Well, the king.
Wait.
The king.
This is Kevin, the guy.
I'm sorry.
No, the most valuable piece in the chess game is the king. You can lose the queen and still win. You lose the king, the game is over.
Right. Absolutely.
So, even on a chessboard, those two pieces, even though they're powerful, one outranks the other. One has a higher value.
This is what he says.
So
my stepdad says your ideology of things is going to make a woman ultimately like unhappy, like because it's.
I don't care about your happiness. I don't care about your happiness. I don't care about, because here's the thing: a man's not happy having to go out and kill the dragon, bring home the meat. I care about duty, respect, and everything else. Happiness is what got us right here, right now. The notion of romantic love. Go back 200-300 years ago, when people were in love, they do what they had to do.
Yeah, but then when
50%, 51% divorce rate in this country, and 7 or 8 out of 10 divorces are filed by women. Our decision to try to Disneyfy relationships has got so many women not even understanding who men are. You want men peeing, sitting down, and acting like women, and that's not who we are.
Right.
All right, how often have we heard women say, he's successful, he is great dad, great husband, but I'm not happy, so I left him, and now I'm alone with 2 kids, past my prime, and just a cat for company. When will these women understand that men don't work tirelessly to achieve success just to get a woman and provide for his family? And then woman expects him to come home and make her happy all the time? And if he doesn't, she can leave with half of his belongings and his kids.
Yeah, but then guys want to be treated like girlfriends. Sometimes they want us to go 50-50 with them, or like.
I don't worry about those guys. I don't deal with those men. I deal with men who take care of shit over here. I deal with men who pay 100% of the bills. I don't deal with the 50-50 shit. I deal with the men who can pay the cost to be the boss, but then he expects to.
I don't have a problem with the concept of the traditional man paying for 100% of the bills like a traditional woman might. But at the same time, if a woman expects that from a man, she should also be willing to embody traditional feminine qualities. That means being able to cook, take care of him, and support him emotionally. She shouldn't expect him to work to provide for the family and then come home to handle all the household chores like cleaning, cooking, and doing the dishes.
See, the thing about an option doesn't mean he's going to exercise it. It just means he can.
That means I'm an option. I'm a liable. He can just toss me whenever he's done with me.
You can. That means it's your job to stay valuable. Exactly.
Okay.
And see, women used to accept that because if you're the queen, you should keep his stomach full, his balls empty, and him happy enough to where he doesn't want to exercise options.
You're
But
right.
see, today we've made women lazy to where you just, I'm married now, have your babies, queen me, French toast that.
Absolutely. Once a woman has secured a marriage, she may sometimes become lazy and neglect self-care, even withholding intimacy from her partner. This is marriage trap. She said that men are the ones who leave their marriages, but the reality is quite different. In fact, statistics show that about 80% of divorces are initiated by women. So the man is not the one who tossed his wife.
Back in the days where we talked about stuff used to work. So appreciate it because women want marriages to last 30, 40, 50 years. And back in the day, women had to accept that men are men. Men are men. And if you keep your husband happy, even if he does step out and exercise an option, I guarantee you this, the kind of men I'm talking about would never let that stuff come towards his kingdom. Because he doesn't want it to affect his queen or anybody else. I don't know what kind of men y'all are expecting. Y'all think these men are just running around. I'm having sex. I'm talking about men who are working 10, 12, 14-hour days. They don't have time to be doing this stuff. I'm talking about men who barely have time to come home to do you. I'm more worried about what men can't do. All right, we got a few more before we get in here. I think a lot of you ladies got to admit, this is a lot about control. You want to control a man. Go ahead, Daphne. Unmute yourself. Do you have a disagreement on this infidelity stuff too?
I do. I really agree with that. A man has options. I think he has options regardless, but I think the part about exercising the option.
What about him?
What about him exercising the option?
What's the disagreement?
The disagreement is that it's wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong.
According to whom?
I just said, in my opinion, it's wrong.
Okay, well then don't marry a man who has options.
But doesn't everyone have options?
No.
No? Why not?
Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
So let's just take you.
Okay.
Are you married?
I'm divorced.
Uh-huh. So if a guy was working on fries at McDonald's, he'd have the same option to holler at you, the guy who owned his own law firm?
It depends.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. See, I can't play games with them. If we're gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation. If we're gonna do this shit, then we don't have to. This woman actually gonna tell me that a man on fries and a guy who owns his own law firm have the same option to holler at you. You're gonna exercise in the same way. Y'all are disingenuous.
No. This. Do I know off the rip that that's what he does?
Yes, Daphne. That's why. Okay, if you go into McDonald's, Ronald's on fries. Well, if I come in the suit and I'm in, say I own my own law firm, you know that automatically. See, the problem is.
But the thing with that is that it doesn't talk about character.
Ma'am, the bottom line is this: a man who's more successful has more options than a man who's less successful.
I don't disagree with that.
So, does a woman who's more attractive have more options than a woman who's less attractive? Do women who are more attractive tend to marry men who own fries at McDonald's, or they tend to exercise those options and get the highest caliber of man they can? God damn it, you know I'm right.
You are right.
So y'all don't mind it when it's in your benefit. You just don't like it when it's in a man's benefit. But here's the thing: if you don't like it, get you a man who nobody really wants except you, and he won't have options. So we don't have to worry about exercising them. Okay, problem solved. Right? I mean, if that really bothers you, get a man that nobody want.
That's true.
But the question
that would
is,
be my thing though.
Of course not, because you want a man that everybody else wants, because that's how women are. You want somebody else to want your man, and you be like, I got him, no you didn't. Well, here's the thing: as long as he's coming home to you and ain't jeopardizing what's at home, what do you care about what he does if you don't know about it?
Certainly, women are often drawn to high-value men. Many desire someone who's tall, fit, financially successful. The challenge arises when there's a disparity between the number of women seeking these ideal men. The ideal man to a woman is 666 rules, so he has to be 6 feet tall, has six-pack, earn six-figure income, and has the 6 inches. It's a matter of supply and demand, really. So, you're left with a choice: either come to terms with this reality or adjust your expectations accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to say that I'm not that type of person to say, oh, I want somebody that everybody wants. I think that for me, it's important that I don't care what he looks like. Like,
it doesn't matter if you care about what he looks. I didn't say anything about looks. I said desirability. You were married.
Desirability.
Who filed for divorce? You or him?
I filed for divorce after he said that he didn't want to be married anymore.
I did. Okay. So, ladies, I've asked this question countless times. In mammals, are the men of the males of the species typically monogamous? The answer is no. The more successful, the higher value male you are interested in, the more other women are going to be interested in him too, and they have options. If you don't like that, take it up with the creator. I did not make people the way they are. And it's really troubling to me that so many modern women really don't understand men, to where so many women across the board, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and other, y'all are all treating this information as though it's like a revelation. I'm like, God damn. Disney and fairy tales have done a good job in selling y'all rom-coms. Those are things that sell tickets and movies. A 50-year marriage had issues. How old are you?
Absolutely.
How old are you?
I don't disagree with that. 41.
So 41. How many times do you hear Big Daddy, Grandpa meeting people from a whole other kids? So let's knock this off. I mean, honestly, I'm to the point to where modern women, y'all are not made of the same stuff that other women are made of. But y'all want the credit of other women. Most women today just want to just be here.
I don't agree with that. I agree with
have you watched my show?
What you said.
Yeah, have you watched my show? How many times does a woman say, I want a man who's making enough money to keep me at home where I don't have to work to pay significant bills, 2 to 3 kids, and I don't even have a cookbook? Come on, man. There are thousands and thousands of hours, hundreds of hours of women not bringing nothing to the table any different than a guy who came into the country illegally is getting and won a millionaire. My show is going to be studied, parsed over for years, because it is real-time interviews of modern women and their expectations and what they bring to the table. You ain't even bringing what my grandmother had a 6th grade education, and she brought more to the table than modern women do today.
Absolutely. Today, many modern women believe that having a degree automatically makes them high value, despite the fact that some degrees don't necessarily lead to high-paying careers and often come with significant student debt. The reality, however, is that most men don't place a high value on a woman's educational achievements or financial status, especially if they're already successful themselves. Even if a woman is successful and earns a substantial income, it's often the case that her partner, typically the man, doesn't have access to her finances and is expected to cover the majority of expenses anyway. And he has to be more successful than her since woman doesn't marry down. So, from his perspective, why would he care about her success when it doesn't directly benefit him and he's already shouldering the financial burden?
You can't say, and you know that's true in the main. My grandmother brought more to the table than women do today. Can you say that same thing about yours? Or did she bring less or the same?
My grandmother?
Yes. Did your grandmother bring more to the table than modern women? Same or less?
Her value? Absolutely more.
Well, then that's a goddamn shame that women have degressed, devolved.
I agree. I 100.
Then,
I agree with that.
well, there you go. Well,
Things
then,
have been lost.
but the thing is, men are still expected to do the same things that men have always done, but women have devolved.
Indeed, as I mentioned earlier, women still often expect a traditional man, yet the reality is that women themselves are no longer confined to traditional roles. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed today's video and found it insightful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we upload new content. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continue creating valuable videos like this one. Okay. Let's continue with the video.
And you're asking for more. So even something like this is like, it's like, well, goddamn, how much more are y'all gonna get? Men have drawn a line in the sand and they've said no more. This is the 300. The men have said no more. They've locked shields, spears are out. This is where we hold them. This is what men are saying. That's why there are 30,000 people in here watching. That's why the comment section is littered. I'm not speaking for Kevin Samuels. Man after man after man. And then go on my community page. There are women saying, thank you for telling me the truth. Thank you. You saved my marriage. You saved this. This ain't about me. It just shows the misinformation and miscommunication that people tell you the men are from Mars and women are from Venus and don't forget to crown, all these other lies. And that don't work. But appreciate them. I want to get on through this because Yasmin was sitting up there nodding like, yeah, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right, Kevin. It's not right. You're not supposed to be exercising options on me. It's not right. Come on, Yasmin. Tell me how it's not right. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. How old are you?
I'm 21.
It's not right. Okay. It's not right, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. And I'm not arguing with that. But
okay.
Okay, so I feel like you kind of take two kind of I feel like I sometimes notice you taking on the it's not right, and then I notice I hear you talking about religion, like, oh, this is a Christian value. And then I hear you saying, well, it is not the ideal, but it is the truth. And so, like, what should we be pursuing, the truth or the ideal?
Are you a Christian?
Holding men to.
Are you a Christian?
No, but I am religious.
Okay, then I don't. Hold on. If you're not a Christian, you're asking me what?
Okay, so I'll actually get to what I want to say. So, because I've been writing.
Okay, but okay, because when I speak about Christianity, especially in the black community is overwhelmingly Christian, and oftentimes black women will inject God into relationship discussions as a justification for or against something, but yet in another breath, they're not acting in that same Christianity that they professed the sentence before. I'm not promoting religion or about anything else. I'm an image consultant. I am concerned with outcomes and results. My personal life, I may be a self-professed Christian, but the modern church is far away from what it should be. So I don't concern myself with morality. My profession is not about morality. It's about outcomes. Results. Morals are something else. When you go to your cardiologist or the oncologist or your brain surgeon, you don't care about his religious affiliation. You care about his competence to get the outcome you need.
Do you care to have a conversation about morality right now, or is that not what?
No, because morality is very subjective. Your morals, see, high value men exist across worldwide in many different cultures over many different years. What if one is Muslim, one is a Christian, one is a Buddhist, one is a Hindu, one is agnostic, one is a nihilist? That's not a conversation that I can square. All I can talk about is these men who have separated themselves from other men throughout history and time all share some similar characteristics. They tend to be the highest top 10% earners. They tend to have done it over a period of time. They tend to be acknowledged by other men as being one of their peers. They tend to have a network of other high value men in the group. They tend to be extremely visible, and they tend to be of high use to others in the group. That has nothing to do with morals and principles.
The reason why I think this conversation is important to you, or should be important to you, is because even if you don't take the religious point of view, it does contribute to this cycle, to the society, to the culture, and like why women cheat. So okay,
Why women cheat?
Why women cheat? Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, hold on. The morality question, why women cheat or why men cheat?
Both, but I do have a point that I could like logically get to if later on that is related to why.
Okay, I don't deal with morality because again, that's a rabbit hole that I can't square that circle, neither can you. What you believe is what you believe, but at the end of the day, it comes right down to it. Men and women are not equal.
Exactly, men and women are not equal. We are built differently, and this has been the case throughout history. In both Eastern and Western cultures, successful men have often had numerous concubines. However, this dynamic has not been the same for women.
No matter what your morals say, we're not. And the outcomes the expectations for the gender roles are different. And the bottom line is, this is a man's channel. I'm concerned about the best outcome for men. And the men tend to want women. But the problem is, when men are becoming the best version of themselves, putting themselves to the crucible of self-discovery and perfection, sadly, far too many guys are not finding women doing the same thing. You heard the previous woman just say women are bringing less to the table than women 2 or 3 generations before. So if we want to talk about our morality, we have to talk about the balancing of a deal. And our modern women offering a fair deal to modern men.
I could also argue that men are bringing less to the table because they're engaging.
But they're still expected to do it.
Well,
but they're still expected to do it. Whether they're not bringing less, they're bringing less, but they're still expected to do it. The role for men have not changed. We're still expected to be prophet, provider, priest. But are modern women offering a fair deal?
A fair deal, yes, but
no, they're not. No, they're not. You can't offer a fair deal dating multiple men. You can't offer a fair deal when you have social media, inbox, this, such and so forth. This is why the notion of right and wrong, women don't really want to play this game, because while we may classify cheating as intercourse with men, women are far more promiscuous and far more cheating when you start talking about non-sexual attention from other men. You're not offering a fair deal.
All right, folks, that wraps up today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Now, let's pay our respects to Kevin. May he rest in peace, and may his legacy endure forever. As always, make sure to keep checking out his content on YouTube. Now, let's delve into a crucial discussion. It's no secret that men and women are fundamentally different. Throughout the ages, successful men have often had access to multiple partners, while the same hasn't been true for women. Consider this: men, typically, have a strong desire for sexual variety. It's a natural inclination for most, if not all, men. However, not every man has the resources or opportunity to act on this desire. It's often not until later in life, after years of hard work and self-improvement, that a man might find himself in a position where he's considered desirable to many women. But then, he's met with a peculiar expectation: monogamy. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with monogamy. However, it's essential to understand the context. Men, biologically speaking, are wired to seek multiple partners. It's part of our nature, driven by testosterone levels and evolutionary impulses. On the other hand, women typically seek security and stability in a partner. They're looking for someone who can provide resources and protection. This fundamental difference in desires and priorities is often overlooked in discussions about gender equality. You see, the basic contract in relationships is simple: men provide resources and protection, while women offer exclusive access to their bodies. It's a give-and-take dynamic that has existed for centuries. So, when a man has worked hard to build himself up, to become successful and desirable, it's unrealistic to expect him to suddenly abandon his natural instincts. It's like asking him to deny a fundamental aspect of his being. And let's not forget, societal perceptions play a significant role here. A man who fails to provide or protect is often viewed with disdain, while a woman who seeks sexual variety may face social stigma. So, in conclusion, let's remember that men and women have different biological and psychological needs. It's not about equality in desires, it's about understanding and respecting our differences. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay out of trouble, stay focused, and take care of yourself. The system isn't always on your side, and there are always challenges to overcome. Until next time, peace out.